what happened in the slum clearance, they cleared all the houses out. There was a slope to the land. They levelled off the land. They filled in the cellars, because beneath every house was a cellar, and they filled it in with the rubble from the houses. And then, so we finished up with an even area of ground.
It was a lucky coincidence, because just as we were finishing this site, because of the high profile, it was so unique. Collaboration with the Sheffield City Council and Third Football Unites and the youth service, it developed a lot of profile, and the university got to know about it, and they were looking for an ideal site to put a field lab. So the first thing we did, in order to monitor all the activity and to prove how good this technology was and to develop this technology, we put in pan-tilt high definition cameras to monitor the site. And it's the first time we've ever been able to do this in Sheffield, anywhere else in the UK, where we can have the cameras trained on every entrance and we can show usage of the site at any time of the day. So we get some unique data of how we're using the site.
I work for an organisation called Football Unites Racing Divides. We're a youth and community organisation that specialises in anti-racism, social inclusion, community cohesion, bringing people from very different backgrounds together, whether it's ethnically, religiously or culturally. Profit fits quite well with some of our aims and objectives with regards to providing opportunities for local communities, and it meets our aims in terms of providing sporting, exercise and type opportunities for people that don't traditionally have much of an opportunity for cost reasons or whatever else, or cultural reasons, to engage in regular sport and regular exercise, and it allows us to address some of the issues in relation to that. So child obesity, diabetes in certain communities in later life, those types of things, and I think Profit will enable us to tackle some of those and help to encourage people to lead healthier lifestyles.
So our initial designs was, in this area, we put the first suspension training in the UK. The space here is used as a coaching area, so the children can play on it, but we can also use it as a coaching space. So we can bring in things like boot camps, personal trainers, fitness trainers, health-related people into the site and give them a space to work from. And then we've developed a track all the way around the park. We're going to line it up. It's 300 and some metres long, and we've got technology where the university has developed to track users going around the site, and it can display the times that they've gone around, the fastest times, cumulative data. They'll be able to log this with things like a health centre or the GP's practice across the road, so the GPs can issue a band to the users. And previously they've said to people, like I'd say to you, well, I want you to go out, you're not fit enough, you need to do more exercise. You go out the door, I don't know whether you've done that. So we give you one of these bands, you go away, and when you come back, the GP knows what you've done and when you've done it.
Once the person has done a lap, they'll be able to see their time on a display, so a big LED display, and they can sort of monitor their progress over time. We'll also record all this data in our sort of centralised database, which we're going to use for research purposes, so see how people have improved over time, and also kind of track their how much they use the actual site itself.
But there's a number of companies who are a bit more forward thinking, who really can see the benefits of products they've had on the back burner, if you like, for years. Never been quite sure and have never wanted to really try them because they're not sure they're going to work. And they are interested in working with us on prototypes in this space. I think once we can show how it's working, those companies will come and work with us. This is just the foundation, if you like. What we intend doing from this point onwards is we're going to work with all these agencies, give them an induction to the site, show them how the equipment works, and the ultimate goal is that we can then replicate this at a number of other parks and open spaces throughout Sheffield and maybe other authorities in the UK.
So we have our field labs set up across Europe. Now we can't have an infinite number of field labs, you can't put field labs everywhere, and we probably won't sell products to everybody. And there's a new world that's appeared over the last 4 years where people are starting to wear sensors, they're starting to have apps on their phone, and we're starting to collect big data about what people are doing. And that's really quite new and quite important, because if we can use phones, if we can use devices to measure physical activity, we can also use it to motivate people to do more physical activity. So we have this new world where we can take the ideas about field labs out into the general population. So whereas we might hit hundreds or thousands of people here, out in the general population with these new devices, we can look at interacting with hundreds of thousands of people, really, really large populations. And that's where we'll make a big difference to the populations and the health of the populations. To make this happen, we can't just focus on small aspects, a field lab, a watch, an app. It's got to be a holistic approach. That involves environmental designers, that involves schools, it involves hospitals, it involves the workplace. So wherever populations are, that's where we're going to have to do our testing. Whoever those populations are, we're going to have to do testing on them. So it could be old people, it could be young people. How are we going to do the testing? It could be with watches, it could be with phones, it could be with some simple devices, it could be simple camera systems, or it could just be little timing gates, RFID tagging. And this takes us into the whole world of big data. So we're in this new world where we can take lots of data from lots of people. It might not be as accurate as our field labs, but because we have so much data, we can learn so much more. So we can learn about the participation levels of our populations. We can learn about the health of our populations. And we can learn about which interventions can we put in place, as we've done in our field lab here, which will make those populations be more physically active. And if they're more physically active, they're more healthy.